youngsters just holding head on ball. And them woman stronger than a wall. A big push a high and she
WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All righty, so the time right now, SVG, it is 7:45, and at this time we have commentary with Mr. Kingsley Defreitas, who's already on the line. Kingsley, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I have an interesting morning. You know, I have an interesting morning. I have an experience where I'm living with my girlfriend, right, for over 30 years. We have 3 children. I say we have 3 children, right? But during the course of the relationship, her sister said to me, "Can you show them children is your children?" So I said, "Excuse me? What do you mean when you say that?" Well, she was sending me a message, but I pretended I didn't hear the message. You know what I did? I asked her, "Those children that you claim are my children, are they really my children?" You know, I found out that the children, they are not my children. You know how devastated that could be? That you have, if you're living in a house together, and when you leave to go to work in the morning, this vagabond go in the house and spend time with her. Have 3 children, and every day I think the children was mine as well. And I look at you on Facebook wherever I go, and I see the other young lady sitting there with her head tied, just paying attention to what could actually take place. Let me tell you something. This story that I'm telling you is not a fiction. You know. This is real. This is something that happened. And it is amazing how people who have a lot of influence in today's society to listen and don't make any comment about this ill that affects a minority of men in seeing this and hearing this. You take it easy that you could sit around a table having your meals, see your 3 children there, and during the course of the relationship, when you get older or she gets older, she tell you that the 3 children that she has for you is not your biological children. But like everything is, there's just some stupid men, and I am in the category of stupid men. She don't say my own, so I would have to take responsibility. They are my children, whether they are biological or they're just my children. And it really pains my heart to hear some of the comments and commentary that you will hear people make on these things. And while some people may not experience that, they may have an idea of some stupid man like me who is fathering 3 children. That is not necessarily my children. But it's too far to turn back, so I have to accept that these children are my own and deal with it for what it was. But the evidence of that kind of thing taking place, it might not be as robust as we think it is, but it is actually happening where men find themselves in compromising position. Love a woman more than she loves him. She got 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's so happy because he said, "Well, I find myself a nice family. I have these 3 children, and I put things in place for them so that at least one of them ain't gonna make me in a poor home when I get old." And some people, when my father had a concept, and I used to disagree with him, he used to say that he now work and save the money, and when he get old, me and my sister Mary and Valerie will have to take care of it. Well, that didn't manifest itself the way he wanted it, but I stuck around because my mother and my father were my parents. But I am wondering what will happen to me along the way when I become older. Because I'm getting older and slower with age, not because I want to, but the issue of having this so put in my mind, thinking what will happen what will happen with me when I get older. No, now I know that the children are not mine. Now I know that the children know that I am not their biological father. But they continue to show that level of respect because they look at me as a father figure. But you think that easy to understand, man? That is something that will always haunt people the rest of my life, you know. And people will just say, see him going there, all is well. All is not well. Now everything that glitters is gold, and that's my commentary for this morning. I don't know if you want to ask anything.
All right. So are you in agreement with Pigeon in a sense where if you are given children that are, and you find out they're not biologically yours, that you would continue to accept them?
But I just told you that I have not a choice. I have not a choice but to accept that the children are being referred to me as their father. So I found myself in a complicated position where if you leave, you're going to leave the two children too. They might probably struggle with the thought that he was always alone. But then the other thing we tell them, well, he's not my biological father. And who they should blame? Me or their mother? Most likely they will blame their mother. But you don't want to create that tension among the mother and the children. So you have to always find a way to deal with it. But like I say, it is what it is. And it's something that is bothering me. And I try not to speak about it sometimes, but I have to speak about this one because based on what was said by the person who just carried out the commentary and based on what was said by you, when responding to the commentary, and that's my thoughts for today, okay?
All right. Thanks, Kingsley.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks. And that was today's commentary with Kingsley Defreitas. Just a bit of a continuation of the initial conversation that was started at 7:20 with Pigeon. There was something that while Kingsley was speaking, the thought came to me: should the children know that the man who they assume is their father isn't their father? Should they find out that information? Because it's one thing for the quote unquote father to accept them, to continue to accept them and to treat them as though biological they are his. But so he might continue to be he may just continue to love them the same way that he loved them before. But for the children, we don't know how it is that they are going to react to this. There are some children when they find out somebody is not their biological father, especially if there is a little bit of tension already between them, they're going to be like, you are not my father. You do not have a right to discipline me. You don't have a right to tell me this or that. There can also be a situation where these children, upon finding out that the father is not really their father, may now have a longing to find out who their real father is. And let's say the mother either doesn't know or she doesn't want to say. What is it that's going to happen in this child's life? So, it's one of those things where clearly it is not a black and white situation. And even myself, I don't even know how to answer whether or not the children should find out.
I think that human beings are naturally curious, and the children will, even if not in their childhood days, when they get to adulthood, I feel like they will want to know who their real father is. That they want to just, satisfy that curiosity.
But go ahead.
It is a very tricky situation because there are a lot of people involved that will be hurt. Because if you, as a child, you have accepted, you were told that this particular man is your father, and you accepted him as your father, and then you get to find out that he's actually not your father, you could harbor some resentment towards your mother. You may still love this guy, because I know people in that situation, they still love the non-biological father. But then if you do, let's say you connect with your real father, but you still have that relationship with your non-biological father, there's going to be some sort of tension, or there may be some sort of tension in that.
And also, too, upon finding out who your real father is, suppose he rejects you.
That too.
Right? Suppose
That
he rejects
too.
you for whatever reason, because let's say he had an affair with the mother and he already has a wife. The wife knows nothing about the affair that he had, much less a child that he produced. So, I mean, it's not so easy when it comes to interactions and human relations and relationships, because, yes, cheating does happen. Yes, these things do happen. But when a child is in the midst of it, Is it better for everybody to disclose what the reality is so that everybody knows how to deal with the situation at that point in time? Or do we just carry on life without knowing what the truth really is? Is it just easy to carry on with life not knowing what the truth is?
No. And somebody says they think they should know because of medical reasons.
Well, that too as well. Because, I always, that's a different conversation, because I was just saying sometimes, when you meet a particular individual, do you want to know their family history? Medical family history before dating them, much less before reproducing with them.
I feel that is important. I would definitely say it is important, because I have a son that has sickle cell disease, and we did not know that his father had the sickle cell trait. I had known that I had the trait, and we didn't know. And sickle cell disease is terrible.
Yeah.
So it is not advised for two people that have the trait to come together and have a child, because there's a very strong possibility that your child is going to have the full-blown disease, and it is awful.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend who died from it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. For those reasons, you have to know some sort of family.
So the disclosing needs to happen, because if you're given the wrong father, you might the father who is raising the child might not have any medical issues, but the biological father does. So
Correct.
All right, folks, this is the world we live in. Nothing is ever really black and white. All right. But as painful for me as being truthful might be painful. For the sake of everybody else, put the cards on. Well, for me, I'm just saying, put the cards on the table and you deal with the consequences as they happen, right? Yeah. All right. We're taking a deep breath this morning, folks. Deep breath. All right. So we are going to
women, let's do better. If you are listening and you found yourself in a situation like this, the only thing you could do is to move forward. If you have not found yourself in a situation like this, try not to find yourself in a situation like this. It's easy for us to know the child is ours. Everybody knows it's our child because they see us carry the child. But for the man really has to trust you. He has to depend on you and rely on what you're saying, that this is true. And it is very hurtful. It's hurtful for the man. It's hurtful for the children. So,
but another instance where a woman would not disclose who the father is, let's say it's a situation of incest. She might, to take that shame off of both herself and for the child, she might give it to another person. It's the world, Lord, it's the world. All right, so let's head on out at this time. Let's head on out at this time. I'll be back with more Activated Mornings commentary after 8.